Matt Gaetz is literally the worst pick in the world for Attorney General.
He's not going to receive a very warm welcome from the career folks there. We've seen people today, our fellow reporters, crying, hugging in the hallways.
Pete Hegseth, Trump's proposed Secretary of Defense, defends war criminals and displays tattoos associated with white nationalism and Christian nationalism.
If you've been accused of being weird and dangerous, it seems like Trump is doubling down on that.
Who hasn't been accused of something these days? Look, this noise, they're trying to freak everybody out. Oh my gosh, only Trump could pick these people. It's more a reflection on all of them than the actual nominees. These are good people. These are people with great records. They are capable of the job. What you're seeing, though, in the opposition to them, it's very anti-democratic. It's also very traditional. They always do this. They always go after the nominees. It's basically a way that the deep state says, don't come here, or we're going to destroy you. It's been happening way before Donald Trump showed up, way before. Take a look at this.
Publications aimed at the military establishment, the Defense News, and the Army Times will call for John Tower to withdraw his name as Secretary of Defense. This is expected to put more pressure on President Bush, who is standing by his man for the Pentagon despite recurring allegations of personal misconduct.
The White House nominee for Health Secretary Tom Daschle is facing a private grilling before the Senate Finance Committee tomorrow. He's got to explain how he racked up a massive bill for back taxes.
Bob Inman was expected to be key to a retooling of President Clinton's national security team. But now Inman is the source of a surprise political glitch for the White House.
The tone may have been a bit milder back in the day, but it's the same Washington game. Keep the political appointees out of the deep state business, and if you dare come here, watch out, we're going to destroy you. These guys, I remember some of these nominations. John Tower, George Bush wanted him for DOD. Obama wanted Daschle. It happens to both parties. Bobby Inman was his name, and I think Clinton wanted him for something. That's what they do. That's what the swamp does. They hate outsiders. There's a nice aerial shot of Washington, D.C. They don't respect the people. I don't even think they respect democracy, but they should. When it comes to President Trump's choices, Congress is supposed to do something, advise and consent. And the deep state should stay the hell out of it. I looked it up. It's in the Constitution. He, the president, shall have power by and with the advice and consent of the Senate to appoint ambassadors and all other officers of the United States. Advice and consent. You can tell us what you think about them. You can give them some tips, but then you're supposed to say, approved. And that better happen for the guys that President Trump has picked. But if it doesn't, remember, it's a Washington, D.C., deep state, ugly game. RFK right now is one of my favorites. He really is. The deep state hates him. Big corporate interests also hate him. Well, the Babylon Bee, have you heard about that? It's a satirical newspaper. Boy, do they get it right. Fattest, sickest country on earth concerned, new health secretary might do something different. It's true. We are not healthy as a country. We are going backwards. Other countries are going forward. Not too long ago, before he was nominated, by the way, RFK put it this way, standing in somebody's kitchen.
This is what most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't always that way. Until the early 1990s, our life expectancy was the same or better than other developed countries. Then suddenly, more and more Americans began suffering from chronic diseases, from obesity, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases.
Makes total sense to me. And he's naming names. Well, you see Captain Crunch and some other cereals I used to like. How about Fruit Loops? You heard of Fruit Loops? Fruit Loops, I got it right here. Did you ever notice that they don't actually spell fruit, O-O, right? Well, anyway, RFK is naming names. Check this out.
The nutrition departments at FDA that have to go. that are not doing their job. They're not protecting our kids. Why do we have Fruit Loops in this country that have 18 or 19 ingredients, and you go to Canada and it's got 2 or 3?
Would you eliminate any of the agencies?
To eliminate the agencies, as long as it requires congressional approval, I wouldn't be doing that.
Why do we need Fruit Loops? I mean, you can't ban them, but they are terrible. There's nothing good in this cereal. Now, the New York Times, it's weird. They should be on RFK's side, but they're nitpicking. Well, what he said about Fruit Loops is not technically accurate. He was wrong on the ingredient count. They are roughly the same, but the Canadian version does have natural colorings made from blueberries and carrots. How are the colorings in America? The U.S. product contains red dye 40, yellow dye 5, and blue 1, as well as betoxylated hydroxytoluene and BHT, a lab-made chemical that is used for freshness, according to the ingredient label. Okay, right? I should have known. No fruit in Fruit Loops. Let's see. Oh, the food industry. They've got something to say about this. This is called Big Food, everybody, and they're playing the race card. When political ideologies are used to create fear and disregard the role of science, it undermines public trust in food safety, so says the Consumer Brands Association, particularly those in vulnerable populations. That's what they're getting at. They're going to try to... It's everybody's constitutional right to have a Fruit Loop. What do we think? What does RFK think? If he doesn't like Fruit Loops, what does he think of Frankenberry and Count Chocula, the death-themed cereal line? We have so much work to do, and I'm glad RFK is in the mix of it. And also all these guys working with Trump. But we can't just sit back and watch the Trump show. Trump needs us going forward. We can't be passive. I love watching this stuff on TV, but all of us could do more. Probably 1,000 things, but these are the ones that I think are the biggest and probably most important. Number one, we have to continue to give money to our favorite causes, right? MAGA-related or otherwise, whatever. Take your pick. That's a way to have influence. Also, social media. Why let liberal big mouths rule social media? Regular people should get on there and post and make your voice heard. Write a letter to your congressman. Sounds corny, but guess what? It works. When you put it on pen and paper, they have to respond, and things have a way of happening. Of course, we got to vote. Everybody knows you got to vote, and boy, did we vote last week or the week before. And the U.S. Constitution. One of these days, I'm going to memorize all of the amendments. And don't ask me what the 7th Amendment is, because I do not know it, and I should. We all should, because they are messing with our rights.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.